go ahead and grab your tea mugs and come along with me on this journey as we review 20-year life on Let's Go. Now, I'm gonna go into my spoilers, so if you don't want to hear spoiler talk, just leave right now. Okay, so let's start with the first couple and let's get it out of the way. The first couple I'm gonna talk about what's his name, Dabao and Xiong, and also Yuzu. Okay, so for Dabao's couple relationship, for Dabao and Xiong, I knew that I wasn't shocked when she said she wanted to break up with him and she had no feelings for him, because if you guys remember, like when the drama started and when he like confessed his love to her, girlfriend was not excited. She was confused and actually hiding from him. That was already a telltale sign that this girl was not in love with him and stuff, and she was like wondering, should I say yes, like what should I do and stuff, which is not a normal reaction for someone that you like and stuff. So from that instance, I already knew this girl does not like him and stuff, and she only chose to be with him because her friends and kind of everyone were like, you guys fit, like this is perfection, of course, go out with him, he's a chef and you like eating, why else wouldn't you go out with him? So I wasn't shocked about that. But I really like how once she found out that she was not into him in that way, girlfriend broke it up and she didn't waste time and she moved on. But something that I feel the writers basically missed a mark on was her falling in love with Yuzu. I'm like, where did this love come from? Because they never really showed us, like, don't get me wrong, I understand how she could have fallen in love with him considering this is someone she has been working with for so many days, but why I didn't understand the love or where the love came from is because we weren't shown that. We were shown situations between Lian Sheng and Yuzio, which made us understand why Lian Sheng fell in love with him, but Dabao never had those moments that were shown to us with Yuzio. So when she suddenly fell for Yuzio, I'm like, where did this come from? Like, you didn't show us where this came from. Like, I understand where it came from in terms of they have been working together, so she fell in love with him, but we didn't see them have interactions that could have shown us the sign that this girl was falling for him. So this just feels out of the place. In fact, I was doubting and I was wondering, like, is this girl like confused? Is she really in love with him? Just because I was never really shown anything by the directors and the producers that they ever had anything going on between them that would have made her think, oh, I like this guy and he may like me too. Get it? And stuff. So that was my problem with Dabao's relationship with falling in love with Yuzio and all. But apart from that, I really like Dabao. I know some people were like they found her annoying and stuff. I really did not find her annoying. There was only one time where I was actually really annoyed with her and I'm like, wow, I can't believe you just did this. Like, I understand, but I'm like, wow, I can't believe you just did this, was when she was talking with her friends and she basically told them how Lian Sheng is a bitch and she doesn't like Lian Sheng, and Lian Sheng was listening and stuff. That was the only moment I was like, wow, you have just messed up. I can't believe you just did this, girlfriend, and stuff. That was the time that I was really annoyed with her. But apart from that, she was one character that actually surprised me with how smart she was, how she used her love for like celebrities and stars to form a career for herself, become an agent and help her friends and stuff. And I was really shocked that she wasn't snobbish, but that was a plus to her character. I also liked how basically, even though she was chubby, they didn't turn it into this whole, oh, you have to lose weight or you need to stop eating too much or you're fat. Like, they didn't make fun of her weight in this drama or anything like that and stuff. So I really like that. And when I say make fun of her weight, I mean in a bad way. I mean they may have teased each other in a good way on the weight issue, but it wasn't done in a bad way. So I really like that about her character story and everything that happened with her. Now, in terms of Jia Bao and her brother, I really liked their brother-sister dynamic. Like, oh my gosh, every drama needs to be like this drama in terms of the brother-sister relationship. I really loved their relationship, how they had each other's back, and she always was sensitive and in tune to his emotions and feelings and never let him feel less than. Even when his parents were neglecting him, she never neglected him. She was always there for her brother and stuff, and kind of tried to make up for her parents' fault, which was kind of sad. But I really loved how she was always there for her brother and stuff, and how he didn't blame her for how his parents treated him and stuff. He didn't hate her for it. He didn't treat her badly either. Zenyu was matured about it. Yeah, it hurt him, but he realized he shouldn't hurt his sister for the problem that his parents were committing against him. So that's something I really appreciated about this drama. Now let's talk about Liang Sheng. Liang Sheng is the reason I went into this drama. Guan Xiao Tong is the reason I went into this drama, because I really like her. So I was really excited to watch this drama for her. But she's one character that I feel didn't really do much. Like, I had so much hope for her, how she was a bitch and stuff. I thought by the end of the day she would become like another Andy for me, who I come to grow to absolutely love and stuff, kind of like Ode to Joy. But in this, I grew to like her, but she didn't really leave an impact. Like, her character wasn't impactful for me in the drama. Like, there were certain scenes, it felt like her growth was the word, stunted and stuff. The moments that I felt she should have grown, like experiences that should have taught her things, it felt like those experiences didn't really teach her much, and she stayed the same until towards the end when she finally changed and just did a whole 360 of her character, and I couldn't even recognize her anymore. I mean, it was good, but it was just so, the shift was so sudden towards the end in her character that it wasn't as impactful as it should have been. I felt like it was overdragged. Like, her relationship with her friends, I wish they had made them closer earlier. Like, even up till 20, they weren't tight yet. Episode 20. So that's something that kind of bugged me with her character. But overall, she wasn't the most impactful character for me. I'm happy with her relationship with Yuzio and all. Like, I don't have much to say about her character is what I'm trying to say. But if she's your favorite out there, let me know your thoughts on her character down below. The next person I'm gonna discuss, or the next group I'm gonna discuss, are the Shito and her boyfriend's character, Luran's character. So Shito, like I stated, was literally my favorite character of all the characters. I feel like she was one that annoyed me the least, and she was one that really was a girl after my heart. She was the one that was most matured of all of them. I really liked how she basically always tried to handle things on her own. Yes, it was annoying when she kept things to herself and led to like misunderstandings, e.g. when she went with her boyfriend to the hotel and then she just left without explaining things to her. I felt really bad for him because I didn't want him to misunderstand, but I understood why she couldn't tell him the truth. It's better not to say anything than to tell a lie. So I understood why she didn't tell him anything, but I wish she had said, look here boyfriend, I promise it's not you. I promise something personal is just going on with me and I have to leave now and stuff. That's something I wish they had done, but she just left, and that was one part I was like, oh my gosh, girlfriend, your relationship is just gonna keep getting more raunchy the way you're keeping all these things to yourself internally, and like it's eating you up and stuff. But I really like how matured she was, how she basically understood that what her mom was doing was wrong. Like, she basically knew her mom did the wrong thing, but she still tried to cover up for her mom. Like the time where she pretended to be a reporter to save her mom, and then the time where she came when they were having the activity, her and her mom's relationship was revealed, and she basically stood in the way of the reporter and took her mom away and had her mom's back and stuff. Like, Shito is literally a ride or die for her mom. Yeah, her mom might have done something something horrible and stuff, but at the end of the day, kind of like she said, she's still her mom. So I really understood where Shito's character was coming from. So I understood why she wasn't telling her friends, especially considering that Xiao Guo's family had this whole cheating situation and stuff go down in her family, and she hates cheaters. So can you even imagine her fear at her Xiao Guo possibly finding out and judging her or hating her for her mom's sins and stuff? So I totally understood that, but I also really like how Xiao Guo was the first person to find out amongst the friends about the relationship, and she didn't hate Shito. Instead, she felt bad that Shito had to hold all this to herself and go through the pain. Like she stated, she doesn't support what the mom did because of her own personal experiences and how it ruined her own family, but yet the sins of the mom should not fall on the child. So that made me really respect Xiao Guo and stuff. That's something I really appreciated about this drama. But I really like how they handled that the person that you expect to react in a horrible way, because I was really scared of how Xiao Guo was going to react, but I really like how she reacted in a very matured way, and she was there for her friend and stuff. You don't necessarily have to support the scene, but you can be there for the friend and stuff. So I really liked that about this drama. Shito, like I stated, I really like how Shito basically tried to stand on her own feet without her own mom's backing. She found her goal in life, something that made her happy. She finally found something she could do by herself, and she was succeeding and stuff before she realized this doesn't really make me fully 100% free and independent. And then she found what made her free and independent, to the extent that she was even joking with her mom about like paying for her trip to Thailand. And also Shito is a character that I really grew to love and stuff and respect. Like I understood why she did what she was doing, and I really grew to really love Shito. So I don't know about you, but Shito was really actually my favorite character in this drama. But obviously I did not like her boyfriend. Like in the beginning, I did like her boyfriend, but everything just died for me when he went to tell his mom about her mom's relationship. Like, that is not your mother's business. Why are you spreading people's, like, what sort of useless, like, gossip are you? Why are you spreading other people's business? I don't care if she's your mom, your dad, your sister, your child. Like, you shouldn't be telling other people's business to other people, number one. Number two, you're telling your parents, knowing fully well you live in China and stuff. This is a society that cares very much about morality and things like that. Like, yeah, there might be some people out there that be like, it's kind of like Xiao Guo, they're like, oh, it's the mom's sin, we don't need to put it on the girl. But for parents, most parents, it's harder for them to just bypass it or not overlook everything that her own mom, Shito's mom, has done. So obviously his parents were never gonna support that relationship. So it kind of felt to me like he did that unconsciously, because at the back of his mind, subconsciously, he actually wanted to break up with her, and he was looking for an excuse to break up with her because he wasn't fully okay with knowing that her mom possibly broke the relationship of this friend of his, or this boy that he basically used to tutor and stuff. So him, Luran, just really got on my last nerves. I could not stand that dude and stuff. And then all the lies that he was telling and stuff, especially the lie when he basically went on the blind date and then Shito came and she met him. Even after the blind date told him to tell Shito the truth, and then Shito asks him about like sending him messages and calls and stuff, and he says, oh, I didn't notice. Like, bro, what nonsense, you didn't notice? Your phone is right there on the table right next to you. Are you telling me you didn't see your phone light up? Like, were you that into the conversation that you just ignored me? Like, if you're gonna lie, at least lie in a sensible way. Don't just lie like I'm a fool, where we both know I ain't no fool. So he really got on my last nerves. At the end, she found her goals. she found her happiness, and it didn't necessarily lie with like money and stuff. So the next couple that I'm gonna talk about are Xiaoguo, Zhenyu slash Zozun. So let's talk about Zhenyu first, and then we'll go to Zozun, because I do have a number of things I want to say about the Zozun timeline and the relationship and everything and the act. But let's talk about Zhenyu. So Zhenyu is basically someone that I really loved his dynamic with his sister's friends. I love how his sister always brought him along, like when she knew he didn't have friends and stuff, she always brought him along and made sure that her friends were his friends too and stuff, so he didn't feel left out. That's something I really actually appreciated. I loved how Jabba was always there for her brother, and she was basically his, like, what would I call it, his parents, because he always felt neglected by his parents. But I also love how that says something else about Jabba herself, like what a good sister she is, that she always notices that about her brother and she always has her brother's back. But I also like how realistic she was with her brother in terms of his love for what's her name, Xiaoguo, and how she was always telling him, dude, you need to give up on Xiaoguo because she doesn't love you, this is never gonna work out, you really do need to give up because this is just gonna lead nowhere. But I really like how she didn't like hate Xiaoguo for not liking her brother or treat her badly or anything like that, or try to convince her to fall for her brother. Yeah, she may have mentioned it once or twice, but she knew it never happened, so she never dwelt on it. So that's something I really like. But in terms of Zhenyu, I feel like for the most part, once we found out about Zenyu's relationship with what's her name, his family, I feel like immediately they revealed that to me, kind of spoils every ship that I may have had with Xiaoguo and him. And don't get me wrong, I did want Zhenyu to actually date Xiaoguo in the beginning. I really did want them to date and then break up, and then she dates Zozun. I'm such a horrible person. Chris Brown's song Loyal was made for me, bruh. Anyways, I really wanted them to date but then break up, and then she dates Zozun. But after we found out everything that was going on with him being neglected by his parents back home, I didn't want them to be together anymore, because it felt like Zhenyu only fell for her because she was like a mother figure to him. Like, yeah, his sister was there for him, but his sister is his sister, so obviously he can't fall in love with his sister. That'd be like taboo and all. But he fell in love with Xiaoguo because Xiaoguo treats him like a mom, like family and stuff. She has this mother hen like behavior and attitude, and that's why he fell for her and stuff, to kind of make up for his lack of what he felt was love from his mom and stuff. And so that once I found out, I didn't really want them to date anymore, because it just felt like that kind of stained the love for me. And it felt like the love, yeah, he may have loved her, but is it really love, or is he in love with her because he's getting these emotions that he doesn't get from his mom from her and stuff? That's kind of why I didn't ship them. But by the end of the drama, after everything went down with Zozun, I'm like, okay, I am okay if she dates Zhenyu. And the reason why I was okay if she dated Zhenyu, and they kind of gave, like, the ending made me feel like if they make a season 2, there's a chance for her and Zhenyu to date. They might not be endgame, but they might be able to date, because he was the only one that always put her first. Like, she was 100% for him. Boyfriend was gonna give up Germany for her. Zozun will never do that for her and stuff. And from what we got by the ending, what she wanted was not someone that would put her at 10%, but someone that puts her at 90% and stuff. And the only person we saw throughout the drama that put her at 90% was literally Zhenyu in terms of love and romance and stuff. So that's something that I can see their future and see them being together. And that's why at the end I'm like, okay, I'm rooting for you, boyfriend and stuff. At the end of the drama I was like, I'm rooting for you if there's a season 2. But throughout I was rooting for him. Then I stopped rooting for him for that very reason of, I felt like it wasn't a clean love. He was in love with her because of his motherly feelings and emotions and psychological issues with him being a child and all. So that's how I feel about Zenyu. Now let's come to what's his name, Zozun. So Zozun is someone that I feel so conflicted about. Like, I love his dynamics with Xiaoguo. I love their dynamics. I love when they tease each other. I love when they fight. I loved it all until he ruined it. He freaking ruined it for me, right? Don't get me wrong, I totally understood why they made the decision to make her take the fall, because she was the most trustworthy among them. But there was so many loopholes in making her sign that, and I'll come to Zozun in a little bit, but let's talk about the loopholes that I had issues with. And then we'll go back to Zozun. Number one, they made her feel the sign that, and sign that she is the one who was basically the rat in the company. But didn't they think that if they had revealed her to be the rat without finding out who the true rat was, then wouldn't they keep, like, even if they get the money from Madam Sheng, then wouldn't the rat still keep giving out information out to the company, their rival company? And that will make Madam Sheng mad, because he'll realize that he was deceived, which could backfire on them and make him withdraw his investment from them, which will cause a whole different mess. And also that felt like not a sensible course of action, because it felt like they were only thinking in the now, like, let's just make her the person that will take the fall for today, get the money tomorrow, and then deal with the rat issue next tomorrow. But you may not have had a next tomorrow. Luckily, they were able to figure out who the rat was. But what if they had not figured out who the rat was? And I guess that was my issue, how they made her take that fall without thinking of all these other consequences and only thinking of the now, because I always thought they were smarter than that. So that was my issue with that. But in terms of Zozun, like I stated, I always knew he had a thing for her. Even when he rejected her the first time and stuff, I wasn't too bothered about it. But here's my issue with their relationship. Let's talk about him, then we'll go with the issue I have with her and her relationship with Zozun. Now, the issue I had with Zozun, the one mistake he made for me that kind of made me cancel him, is that when they had Xiaoguo fill out that document and sign saying that she was the rat, when they had her fill that document, he made his best friend go give her the document to sign. That was what really annoyed me with him, because if he had been the one to tell her such a horrible news, like, I want you to take the fall, instead of having someone else do his dirty work and stuff, and that is in character for him. So, like, it's kind of conflicting, because it's in his character for him. He always makes people like fix his mess. Even with Rebecca, he's always sending Rebecca to fix his mess, give her a laptop, ask her to come back to the company, etc, etc. He always sends other people to do his dirty work, and then he sits down in the background. But basically why it annoyed me this time is because this is something that was really, really serious. Like, if this had gone wrong, this girl might have never gotten a job anywhere else in the financial industry. You would have literally ruined her life. Yeah, I know he wanted her to come back to the company, but what if Madam Sheng, like I said before, didn't give them the money? Then she'd stay without a job and stuff, and she'd literally be broke and stuff, and casted out or blacklisted out of the financial industry. And I'm in the financial industry, so I understood the depth of what they were making her do, and that was why it really annoyed me that he wasn't the one to tell her. If he had told her, I think that would have lessened my anger and her anger, but that he didn't even have the guts to come and tell her, this is what I want you to do, for me is basically what just ruined him for me, and I was just over him at that point and stuff. I will admit, at the ending, when we had the knock on her door when she was in her room, I did think it was going to be him, and I was praying it was him. I wanted him to be the one, and apparently apparently in the original version of the drama, he was actually the one that came, but they cut that scene out and they actually did a dub over him at the airport, because he was actually meant to come back for her and he was meant to be the one at the door who knocked, but instead they went to go and fill it up with fillers of the past and everything they had been through. So if you had thought that it was Zozun, you're not wrong. You were right, actually. They just changed it in the editing process to something else. But at that point, I was actually, like I stated, I actually thought he was the one, and I would have been okay with him being the one if he had knocked on the door and he was the one that was shown when the door was open. And the reason I would have been okay with it was because he stole my heart. Like, throughout all these episodes, none of the guys succeeded in stealing my heart until Zozo told her when she went to meet him. Another part that annoyed me with her, and we'll go into that in a little bit. But when she went to meet him after she basically didn't show up to see Zenyu, when they were waiting on the night that Madam Shen was basically meant to pay them the money and stuff, and she went to see him and he told her, I have nothing anymore. Would you since I've met your parents and you've met my parents, do you want to be with me and stuff? At that point, he actually did steal my heart. And I'm like, wow, he literally just stole my heart and I'm not even mad. So for her to have rejected him at that moment, that was basically what saved her character for me. And now let's go into her character. Her character, Xiaoguo's character, was the character I really had a relationship with. Like, don't get me wrong, I say Shito was my favorite, but Xiaoguo was basically supposed to be my favorite. She was someone that I really enjoyed her story thoroughly, her relationship, her attitude towards life, everything about her. I really enjoyed her character line, her plot line, and her story. But what made me not her biggest fan, one, is I hated the way she cried. Like, the way she talks when she's crying annoys the living daylight out of me. But number two, and the most important thing, is how she was stalking Zozun even when he rejected her. Like, girlfriend, did you not have any shame? I just could not understand it. When he rejected her the first time, okay, she went away, blah blah blah, he came back, he picked her in her car and all after he had finished blasting her for wearing what she wore, and I felt ashamed for her. I'm like, okay, that's okay. But when she took her bags and followed this dude to go see his parents, and now had the audacity to tell her friends that, oh, she's the first person he has ever invited to his house. Girl, he didn't invite you to his house. You invited yourself to his house. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, forgive me, but I was so mad. I'm like, what is this girl doing? Like, do you have no shame? Do you have, like, I was so mad at her. Like, you have no idea. I was literally, that was when I was done with her character and stuff, when she followed him all the way to see his family, like, to see him and check up on him and stuff. And then she was claiming he was one that invited her. I'm like, he didn't invite you. You invited yourself and stuff. So that annoyed me with her. It also annoyed me when she basically abandoned Zenyu to go see Zozun, but she made up for it. Like, she made up for my anger of her stalking Zozun to go to his father's place, and all. She made up for it by rejecting Zozun. I did not see that coming. I totally did not see that coming. I expected her to accept him, but I was so freaking proud of her for rejecting him and standing her ground and realizing, bruh, this is what I want. I don't want a guy that only thinks of me 10%. Like, I want to be the 90% and all these other things, the 10% and all. What he will then focus on, like his job, etc and etc, but I should be the 90%. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a guy wanting to love someone, or a girl wanting someone that loves her only 10% and 90% is his work and other things in life. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but knowing the kind of person Xiaoguo was, I knew it wasn't for her. So therefore, I didn't want her to be with him, because this is someone that puts her all in the relationship and basically deserved better and stuff from him. So I was so glad and so shocked when she rejected him, but I was so freaking proud of her and stuff, how she stood her ground. I didn't expect that, so that was a nice change, and that made me really grow to really love her by the end of the drama. So at the end of the drama, they really made up for everything. I like how all the girls were kind of single except Liang Sheng, who was in a long distance relationship, but Liang Sheng wasn't really in a good relationship in the beginning, so it made sense at the end how Liang Sheng's story ended. But I really like how everyone basically wasn't in a relationship at the end, because hey, in university it's so realistic. You fall in love, you date guys, but at the end of graduation, y'all go your different ways, except you're already engaged and stuff. Otherwise 90% of the time y'all are gonna break up. So I really like how realistic that was. I really enjoyed this drama. Something that I think was a missed opportunity for this drama is I feel like they should have basically touched on what's her name, Jia Bao's story of her being in this place for 2 years where she had a hard lifestyle that makes her parents now spoil her. That's something I felt the writers should have really touched on, because that would have given Jia Bao's character more of an explanation apart from, oh, she's just a rich girl and stuff, of why she is the way she is and stuff, and a more of a like foundation, a strong foundation to her story. So that's something I wish they had touched on, that backstory. What exactly happened to her those 2 years that she lived a hard life in the country? Like, who was she sent to live with? How was her life hard? What exactly happened? That story is something I'm really interested in. If they do make season 2, I hope they touch on that. But yeah, overall I really thoroughly enjoyed this drama. I love the brother-sister dynamics between Zhen Yu and Jia Bao and stuff. I really enjoyed this drama from beginning to end. I thoroughly enjoyed this drama. If I'm gonna rewatch this drama, I definitely see myself being able to rewatch this drama. Hence, I'm definitely gonna grade this drama an A and all. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. Who was your favorite character? What did you like about this drama, or what did you dislike about this drama? Let me know down below. My favorite character was definitely Shito, but prior to that it was definitely Xiao Guo, but then Xiao Guo lost it and then got me back at the end. I really like how the end played out for me. I really like how the end played out. Like I said, it was quite realistic. Some people may not have liked it. They may have wanted her to end up with Zozun, but I think that's okay. There's room for us to explore that if it's explored in season 2. Otherwise, I'm totally okay with how it ended like this, without him like being with her, except he had actually fought for her. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you all think? Don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and keep being the awesome, beautiful people you are. From me to you all, you know I've got nothing but love for you all. Stay awesome.